The girl was about to kowtow 100 billion times to thank the commander for saving her life, yet he handed her a dagger and knelt first. Would you like to play with my front or back this time? All because the girl's soul had transmigrated into an interstellar beast world. The original host was notorious and had offended all the big shots. The girl chuckled, let it all be destroyed. There would be no good days after this. But after seeing the faces of all the big shots, the girl was utterly captivated. Just coax them then. When there's meat, this big, foolish girl really eats it. Sigh. At this moment, Li Yue suddenly woke up. Before she could catch her breath, she realized she was in a completely unfamiliar place. When she looked down, a handsome man kneeling beside her truly gave her a huge fright. You're awake. Are there any parts of your body that feel unwell? His voice was extremely pleasant, soft and melodious, but the detachment and indifference within it made it hard to fathom. Although she hadn't figured out the current situation, seeing someone kneeling before her, Li Yue felt somewhat uneasy. I'm not uncomfortable anywhere. Please get up quickly. As she spoke, she tried to get up and help Yihua to his feet. Her voice was soft, which greatly surprised Yihua, who was kneeling on the ground. No humiliation, no whipping. She even reached out to help him up. He rose, full of doubts. His gaze toward Li Yue also held suspicion and scrutiny. This made Li Yue suddenly tense up. She was afraid the person before her would discover she was not from this world. She could only pretend to have amnesia. It seems I don't remember anything. Amnesia. Yihua's tone was full of disdain. What new trick is she trying to play now? Li Yue lowered her head, but suddenly noticed on Yihua's exposed forearm there was a ferocious scar. You're injured. Hearing this, disdain in Yihua's eyes deepened further. This injury was precisely bestowed by her. What is she pretending to do now? The next moment, he saw Li Yue pull over his injured arm. So that's how it is. It seems his wife master wanted to tear open the scar that hadn't yet healed, to take pleasure in admiring his pain. But the anticipated pain did not come. Instead, he felt slightly cool fingertips, gently stroking around his wound, not knowing if it was an illusion. After being touched by her, the pain was actually gradually lessening. Yihua looked at Li Yue with half belief and half doubt. Had she truly lost her memory? Li Yue naturally did not know what Yihua was thinking in his mind. She mistakenly took the expression on Yihua's face as a sign that her method had no effect. She had crossed over from the beast-taming kingdom and possessed a purification ability herself, which could only heal wounds or alleviate pain. She didn't know that Yihua was quite pleased by this, mistakenly thinking it was because of herself. After coming to this world, the last bit of useless special ability was also of no use anymore. Is there any ointment here? She looked up at Yihua, her almond-shaped eyes blinking, once again striking Yihua's heart. This was still his wife master, being so gentle and patient with him for the first time. Oh, you're injured. Yihua instinctively showed concern for Li Yue's body, even though he held so much resentment towards her. This was also his duty as a beast husband. Hearing this, Li Yue immediately turned over, wanting to jump out of the treatment pod. Just now she vaguely remembered. It was the male in front of her who saved her from the insectoid's hands. So naturally, she wanted to help him treat his wounds. Li Yue's feet hadn't yet touched the ground when she was stopped by a powerful arm. Before she could react, she collided fully with a warm, powerful chest. Her cheeks instantly turned red without any dignity. The softness and delicacy in his arms immediately flustered Yihua. This was the first time he had such intimate contact with Li Yue. The tips of his ears also turned red. The floor is cold. Where are you injured? Let me see. Yihua was just about to check Li Yue's body, but was immediately stopped by Li Yue's action. I'm not injured. Li Yue's resisting motion made him suddenly realize another matter. His wife, master, has always disliked having any contact with him. The next moment, Yihua placed the little female in his arms onto a seat to the side, then knelt on one knee, bowing his head to ask for punishment. Sorry for touching you without your permission. The spacecraft does not carry a whip. After returning to the manor, I will certainly ask you for punishment. This reaction was something Li Yue had not anticipated. She immediately denied it. That's not what I meant. Upon hearing this, Yihua paused for a moment, then swiftly pulled out a dagger from somewhere and handed it to Li Yue. His eyes turned cold again. A dagger is not as good as a whip, but it can still be handy. This time. Do you want to play with the front or the back? What kind of wild words are these? That's not what I meant. I just wanted to apply medicine for you earlier. Li Yue's tone this time was even more urgent, but the concern she couldn't hide in her tone actually left Yihua momentarily, somewhat unable to figure it out. He looked puzzled at the little female before him, but didn't say anything more. Immediately stood up and walked to the nearby medical device, extending his injured arm into it. Such a minor injury, for someone as strong as an S's level, black-maned male lion, is nothing at all. But in the past, his female would always taking pleasure in uncovering his scars. He then also began to ignore these minor wounds. After all, before they could heal, they would be torn open again by Li Yue. Naturally did not know what Yihua was thinking in his heart. She looked at Yihua's back, fragmented memories flashing intermittently in her mind. Yihua seemed to be her partner. The original host was born into a declining noble family, with substantial family wealth. Only in recent years, it had been nearly squandered by her. Fortunately, Yihua, as the chief commander, supported her, allowing her to maintain the original extravagant lifestyle. When lunchtime arrived, Yihua voluntarily went to the kitchen to prepare lunch. Li Yue, meanwhile, wandered aimlessly inside the villa, opening a door in a corner. After clearly seeing the furnishings inside, she walked in, trembling slightly. Instruments of torture. A room full of instruments of torture. All kinds. Whips, daggers, maces. Suddenly, overwhelming memories once again flooded into her mind. This time, the volume of memories was immense. Yet they contained only one thing: torturing and humiliating Yihua in this place. Li Yue was still struggling to digest these memories when Yihua's voice suddenly sounded behind her. Can you wait until I come back tonight? How many days do you want to play this time? The man's fingers gripped the doorframe tightly, his knuckles turning white, as if trembling slightly. Seeing Li Yue didn't speak, he continued. 2 days. 3 days. 5 days. No more than that. Enough for you to play with the tools inside. Several times over. Li Yue didn't expect Yihua to actually react this way. She immediately stepped forward and cupped his face with both hands. I'm sorry. I won't treat you like this in the future. But Yihua's expression seemed even more serious. He stepped back, putting distance between Li Yue's hands and himself, using a business-like tone. The meal is ready. Then he turned and left without any attachment. No attachment at all. Only Yihua himself knew. He couldn't be more attached to the inexplicably comfortable and relaxing feeling when her hands touched his skin. He was a feline after all, and even more unable to refuse being held by his female owner's hands. Li Yue naturally didn't understand what Yihua was thinking. It seemed she would need to put in some effort to suit this little lion who had suffered so much torment. On the training ground, Yihua was speaking on stage, teaching this year's new students some basic combat principles. When he stepped down from the stage, an old professor nearby immediately approached, walking toward him with a concerned expression. Yihua, your loss of control value. How have you been lately? Yihua helplessly shook his head. After coming to the military academy, I took a test once. It increased by another 3 points. Long-term fighting on the battlefield. Yihua's loss of control value was already much higher than that of ordinary males. Recently, it even broke through 78. Once a male's loss of control value exceeds 80, he will instantly turn into a beast without awakened intelligence, and their fate is to be mercilessly disposed of by the Empire. The old professor sighed and took out an electric stimulation collar. After putting it on, the collar will detect the wearer's mental state. Once the wearer shows signs of losing control, it will release an electric current to stimulate the wearer, forcing the wearer to calm down. Currently, the only way for males to the method to lower the out-of-control value is the partner's soothing. Even a collar can only prevent the out-of-control value from increasing further. In the afternoon, in front of Yihua's villa, there arrived an uninvited guest. Huke. is a member of the Nine-Tailed Fox clan, but his rank is too low, currently having only one tail. Because he has a delicate and slender figure, and is skilled in the art of seduction, he completely bewitched the original owner, and the vast majority of her original family fortune was also squandered, just to please Hyuk. Just as he was about to enter, he saw that Lee Yue was actually being held and coaxed to sleep by Yi Hua. This scene set off alarm bells for Hyuk. Lee Yue would not have allowed it before. Yi Hua has physical contact. Lee Yue fell asleep. Yi Hua quickly walked out again, walked onto Theorcraft and left. He instantly transformed into a black fox, jumped into Yi Hua's room. Hyuk transformed into a human form. What he is holding in his hand is a perfume bottle. Just what's inside isn't ordinary perfume, but is the cat family's estrus perfume. He has always looked down on Yi Hua, then urged Li Yue to buy this perfume at a high price. She purchased this bottle of perfume to torment Yi Hua. He had heard that this chief commander's loss of control value was already nearing the critical point. Thinking of this, Hyuk began spraying perfume in every corner of the room. He even started fantasizing about the wonderful life. From tomorrow onward, after Li Yue woke up, the sky had already darkened. She walked out of the room and suddenly smelled a very fragrant scent. She followed the direction from which the fragrance drifted. It was Yi Hua's room. Strange. Why would it suddenly be so fragrant? Just as she was saying this, movement came from the villa's main entrance. Li Yue peeked to look. It is Yi Hua. She hurriedly ran down the stairs to stand before Yi Hua. Yi Hua, how come inside your room? Before she could finish her sentence, she saw Yi Hua's expression visibly grow agitated. Even the look in his eyes when he turned to her instantly turned crimson. Li Yue. The two words seemed forced out through clenched teeth. In the next instant, Yi Hua suddenly transformed into a full-grown, black-maned male lion. Its mane stood on end, like sharp, pointed spikes, quivering slightly with each breath. Yi Hua, what's wrong with you? The sudden, violent rage made Li Yue somewhat afraid. The Yi Hua before her today was almost like a completely different person. Just as she thought Yi Hua was about to attack her, in the blink of an eye, the black-maned lion before her vanished without a trace. Yi Hua. Li Yue wanted to immediately chase after him, but suddenly, fragment of memory flooded into her mind. In that memory, Yi Hua was tightly bound by iron chains. She and Hyuk were holding a small bottle and sprayed it a few times at Yi Hua. Yi Hua instantly transformed into a male lion. He struggled violently, trying to break free from the chains, but she held an electric prod, pressing it firmly against that lion. The lion endured the pain, trembling violently. She and Hyuk laughed heartily all the while, continuing to electrocute Yi Hua. After a long while, Li Yue finally snapped out of this cruel memory. She felt her hands trembling. No wonder Yi Hua had just looked at her with that kind of gaze. She immediately ran outside to find Yi Hua and bring him back. The real culprit did not leave immediately after committing the misdeed. Instead, he hid outside the villa. As soon as Hyuk saw Yi Hua rushing out, he eagerly opened his light brain and called the security bureau. There is a completely out of control lion here. Send someone quickly to capture him. After all, Li Yue's speed couldn't compare to a male lion in a frenzied period. She could initially follow based on the traces left by Yi Hua. Suddenly, a male in a white uniform blocked her path. He was tall and straight, exuding an aura that was cold and authoritative. But upon seeing Li Yue's anxious little face, his expression unconsciously softened. Miss, for your safety, you cannot go any further ahead. Li Yue looked ahead. Several people were in a standoff with that black-maned male lion. Nearby, several snipers had already set up tranquilizer guns, aimed at the lion, ready to fire at any moment. Li Yue disregarded the person in front of her who was trying to block her path, wanting to slip past again. She hails from the beast-taming kingdom. The appearance of a fierce beast in such a violent state is all too familiar to her. Moreover, her supernatural ability is purification power, which would also play a certain role. It's just a pity this time Li Yue was not successful. She had only run out a few steps when she was stopped by that man with just one hand and placed on his shoulder. "Apologies, miss. You really cannot go over." His tone was quite polite. "Let me go. I have a way to calm that lion down." Li Yue wanted to struggle down, but the strength in that man's hand only grew heavier. "We have many ways to force him to calm down, miss. As a noble female of the empire, I have an obligation to guarantee your safety." Li Yue just leaned on that man's chest like that. Shoulder watched helplessly as several arrows flew towards that lion. The next instant, the originally frantic lion immediately fell to the ground. People wearing security bureau uniforms immediately rushed up and bound Yihua with iron chains and carried him away. Li Yue's tone was somewhat anxious. "I am his mate. Where are you taking him?" Hearing this, man was clearly a bit surprised. "Security bureau monitoring room. We will observe his condition for one night first. If his loss of control value exceeds 100, execution by firing squad will be carried out in 3 days. Upon hearing this, Li Yue's small face instantly turned deathly pale. After calming down for a moment, she then said to the man before her, "Can you let me go see him once? Perhaps I have a way to restore his sanity." Fred was very surprised to hear this. In his impression, the females of the empire have always been arrogant and domineering, never willing to give males a good look. This little female before him not only spoke to him very politely, but was also so worried about her own male. However, Fred still led Li Yue aboard the security bureau's aircraft and thoughtfully placed a soft cushion on Li Yue's seat. By the time Li Yue arrived at the security bureau and stood before the detention room door inside, Yihua had already been isolated and detained. He had regained consciousness and seemed somewhat agitated emotionally. A collar was fastened around his neck. Li Yue's eyes were full of concern. "Can I go in?" With the restriction of the collar and his presence there for protection, this little female before him should not be in any danger. Fred pondered for a moment, then swiped a card to open the detention room's iron door. Li Yue suddenly rushed forward to caress that lion's face. The lion, who had originally grown even more irritable due to the intrusion, actually, under her caress, instantly calmed down, became extremely docile, even actively used its head to rub against Li Yue's palm. This made the originally very worried Fred instantly freeze in place. He had seen many situations of S's level psychic power beastmen after losing control. They would completely lose their minds and control over their emotions. A situation like this, where they could instantly become docile, was something he had never seen before. The next moment, the black-maned male lion before him even rolled over, exposing its softest belly for Li Yue to pet. A click sounded. The collar around the lion's neck just automatically unlocked. Among the 2 people and 1 lion present, only Fred knew why this happened. The electric shock collar would monitor in real time the wearer's loss of control value. If the loss of control value had completely decreased to within a sufficiently safe range, the collar would automatically unlock. Fred immediately ordered the guards standing watch outside the door quickly bring the loss of control value detector. The staff from the safety bureau soon brought the loss of control value detector. The detector showed his loss of control value had already dropped to 30. Merely through touch, it made the loss of control value drop over 40 points at once. Fred suddenly became excited. Had the Empire already developed a method that doesn't require females to specifically soothe in order to lower the loss of control value? Fred was about to step forward to inquire about the identity and name of this little female. Unfortunately, at this moment, the little female looked extremely exhausted and even raised her head to look at him with a weary expression. "Hello, may I leave with my partner now?" "Of course, you may. You can directly take the security bureau's aircraft back." Seeing Li Yue's polite tone, Fred felt an infinite soreness in his heart. He suddenly felt somewhat envious of the male before him. Fred gave a self-mocking smile. He certainly did not have this male's luck. The out-of-control value was about to exceed the critical point, and his family, despite their utmost efforts, could only find him a disreputable female with a level psychic power. The Empire's eldest princess It is said that her level of mischief and brutality ties for first place with someone named Li Yue. By the time they returned to the villa, the sky had already darkened. Although Yihua had not yet transformed into human form, he was very docile at this moment, following behind Li Yue. Wherever Li Yue went, he went, unwilling to leave even half a step away. Li Yue sat on the sofa, the fierce-looking, but very docile black-maned male lion before her. The huge contrast in cuteness made her unable to resist, rubbing the lion's head a few more times. But the current Yihua clearly had no clear awareness of his own size. He excitedly bounced around beside Li Yue, suddenly pounced on Li Yue. A large, furry mass directly leapt into her embrace. She felt she really had no extra strength to climb to the room on the second floor. So she lay on the sofa, holding Yihua. The furry bundle in her arms felt very comfortable to touch. She just fell asleep like that on the sofa. In her dazed state, she did not notice that the furry bundle in her arms had turned into a muscular, handsome man. Early the next morning, before the sun had even risen, Yihua was the first to wake up. When he discovered he was actually being held in Li Yue's embrace, his body suddenly stiffened. He just stood there, frozen in place. It took a good while before he snapped out of it. Staring with a burning face, he carefully extricated himself from Li Yue's arms. His mind was completely blank now. He simply couldn't remember what had happened last night. His memory only lingered on the moment when he smelled the specialized, feline aphrodisiac perfume on Li Yue, and immediately lost control. He suddenly felt somewhat confused. Li Yue sprayed the perfume on herself, but didn't take advantage of his loss of control to torment him. Why was that? At this moment, the light computer on his wrist popped up. His loss of control value report. Seeing the data on it, Yihua only felt a chill run down his spine. Last night, his out-of-control value had already reached 98, just a little more, and he would have been disposed of by the security bureau. But why could his out-of-control value quickly drop to 30? Yihua looked with some complexity at Yue, who was sleeping soundly on the bed. Could it be that Li Yue had soothed him when he was out of control? Beastmen in their beast form are fierce and brutal, especially when doing difficult things. They don't know restraint and can cause great harm to the female who performs the soothing. To lower the out-of-control value from 98 to 30 is no easy task. His partner has always been delicate. How could she have endured it? He prepared to check Li Yue's injuries, just as his hand touched Li Yue's dress. Li Yue, who had been sleeping soundly, suddenly showed signs of waking. Yihua, you've finally turned human. Li Yue's hand reached out to him, and Yihua took hold of that small hand. You worked hard last night. Let me apply medicine for you. Li Yue clearly wasn't fully awake, shaking her head. No, let me sleep a little longer. I'm so tired. Hearing this, Yihua immediately felt somewhat guilty. Sorry, you suffered last night. Yihua didn't get a reply. Yue had already fallen asleep again. He hesitated for a moment. If that injury was serious, applying medicine would not be an easy task for Li Yue either. He should let her rest properly first. Yihua then left Li Yue's room, preparing to return to his own room to calm down. But when he was still a few steps away from the room, he suddenly caught a whiff of a strong fragrance, the very culprit that had made him lose control. Although Yihua could feel the restlessness within his body, he was now able to control himself quite well. Every corner of his room had been sprayed with that perfume. Clearly, someone had done it on purpose. It now seemed it wasn't Li Yue's doing. The only person who could freely enter and leave his villa without triggering the alarms was just one left. That despicable, low-class fox. Yihua immediately pulled up the surveillance footage from outside the villa. Sure enough, he saw that fox sneaking in. After he had left the villa, Yihua's left hand, hanging at his side, clenched tightly. It seemed he needed to teach this fox, who presumed upon his favor, a lesson. Yihua walked out of the room, preparing to go out now to handle private matters. But as he passed by Li Yue's room, he suddenly stopped in his tracks. Her body was already delicate and weak, and last night, it was very likely he had exhausted her all night. Skipping breakfast is not an option, just as Yihua had anticipated. Li Yue was indeed awakened by the growling hunger of her stomach. She got up from the bed, feeling sore all over. She hadn't expected the after effects of running several kilometers in one go yesterday evening to be so intense. In the blink of an eye, she saw Yi Hua walk in. Li Yue's eyes immediately lit up. Yi Hua, how are you feeling now? Thanks to your help, I'm feeling much better now. Yi Hua walked to Li Yue's side, knelt on one knee, his tone unprecedentedly sincere, different from his previous coldness, and forced obedience toward Li Yue. Please allow me to carry you to the dining room. Li Yue quickly agreed. Okay. It's good you came in time. Otherwise, if I had to walk down myself, I would have been tormented by the pain all the way. Yi Hua stood up and gently lifted Li Yue into his arms. Hearing Li Yue's words, the guilt in his heart grew even stronger. He said to the little female in his arms, "After breakfast, shall I apply some medicine for you?" Apply medicine? Upon hearing this, Li Yue was somewhat surprised. Can medicine be applied for this too? Doesn't the body soreness just get better on its own after some time? There's actually a special ointment for it. Of course, it can. For the consideration of the female body, the Empire has researched and developed many types of special effect medicine. After using them, the wounds there will heal quickly. The female body is delicate and weak. When comforting a partner, it is generally difficult to withstand the demands of one's own partner. There are even some medicines that can be applied beforehand. During the comforting process, one will not feel any pain. However, Li Yue did not realize at this moment that what she had in mind and what Yi Hua was talking about were two different things. She immediately agreed. That's great. The soreness on the body is really unbearable. She even somewhat looked forward to the upcoming medicine application session. After finishing the meal and tidying everything up, Yi Hua came to Li Yue's side, holding ointment in his hand. He knelt on one knee with a very devout attitude. Let me apply the medicine for you. Okay. As soon as the words fell, she saw Yi Hua stand up, bend over, and prepare to pick her up. Li Yue hurriedly asked, "Where are you taking me? Can't the medicine be applied here?" Hearing this, Yi Hua paused, but quickly returned to normal. You want it here? Okay, then. He snapped his fingers. All the windows in the villa were covered up. Yi Hua leaned over, his fingers touching Li Yue's dress, still trembling a bit. He had never had the chance before to be so serious in touching his wife, but Li Yue's injuries were originally caused by him. Yi Hua steadied his emotions and continued with the movements of his hands, carefully and very seriously. He lifted Li Yue's dress. Li Yue had originally intended to just close her eyes and enjoy the time to come. But as the breeze blew by, a sense of coolness came over her, suddenly making her realize that something was not quite right. She hurriedly opened her eyes, only to discover that Yi Hua's fingers had already touched the last layer of fabric on her body. Li Yue's cheeks instantly flushed red. She hurriedly called for him to stop. Yi Hua, what are you doing? Isn't this applying medicine? What Li Yue didn't notice was, at this moment, Yi Hua's ears were also tinged red. I was just about to apply medicine for you. Last night you performed a mental soothing on me. That place must have been badly injured, right? After hearing him finish, Li Yue was completely baffled. It wasn't last night. It was yesterday afternoon, after you turned into a lion and ran out. I chased you too fast. That's how I strained the muscle. Hearing this, Yi Hua was somewhat surprised by Li Yue's reaction to him transforming into his beast form. But he still asked worriedly, "Then last night, did I do anything improper that hurt you?" "No. Last night you were very well behaved. And very cute. Very well behaved. Very cute." The red on Yi Hua's ears became more pronounced. Suddenly, a message popped up on Li Yue's light brain. It was the security bureau reminding her to promptly perform mental soothing for her partner, to prevent the partner from losing control again. Yi Hua, the security bureau sent me a reminder. How about I give you another mental soothing later? Hearing this, Yi Hua's entire body instantly stiffened. Yi Hua, why aren't you answering me? It was Li Yue's words that brought him. The thoughts were pulled out. He hesitated for a moment. The words "I want to Sayare" stuck in my heart. That 1,800 turns. This is just the beginning. You are inviting me? The former Li Yue, besides enjoying tormenting him in sexual matters, I have no interest in him at all. Now, he was actually proactively invited by his own wife master. Thinking of this, Yi Hua's hands trembled slightly because of excitement. I guess so. Li Yue didn't know why Yi Hua would ask such a strange question. But we just performed a spiritual soothing last night. If we continue now, you won't be able to bear it. Li Yue was puzzled. Why wouldn't I be able to bear it? This matter doesn't require too much energy. And I already said, you were very good last night. I didn't feel very tired. Hearing this, Yi Hua's entire body stiffened. The bowl in his hand slipped for a moment, fell to the ground, and immediately shattered into several pieces. Li Yue was startled by the shattered plate. I'm sorry. It was my clumsiness that frightened you. I begged my wife to punish me. As he spoke, Yi Hua immediately started to kneel down. Li Yue quickly reached out to stop his movement. The floor is covered with broken bowls. Kneeling like that would surely cause injury. Then please rest here for a moment. He then cleaned up the broken glass on the floor. But in his heart, he was extremely elated. Li Yue said he was very good last night. Li Yue said she didn't feel very tired last night. Then today's invitation seems to be a reward for his performance last night. Being not bad. Afterwards, Yi Hua carried Li Yue towards the second floor room, placed her on the bed in her room. Please wait a moment. I'll go take a shower first. Although Li Yue didn't understand why Yi Hua insisted on taking a shower, she still respected his decision. Only, what she didn't know was, after Yi Hua left the room, he did not immediately return to his own room. Instead, he first went to Hyuk's original room and stole a set of clothes. Only then did he hide in the bathroom. In the bathroom, Yi Hua carefully cleaned every inch of his skin, even though the skin on his body was already the pale pink hue needed out by him. He still did not hold back his strength. After all, this was Li Yue's first time inviting him. He didn't want to disappoint her. Not daring to keep Li Yue waiting too long, Yi Hua quickened his pace. After drying his entire body, he picked up the clothes he had just stolen from that fox's room. For a moment, he was somewhat dazed. His fingers touched the still unopened packaging. One could see his hesitation. It was a battle between reason and shame. Enough. She is my wife master. Pleasing the wife master is his duty. Moreover, this is now the first formal meaning of serving in bed. Afterward, Yi Hua opened the packaging, taking out the brand new clothes inside. Strictly speaking, they couldn't really be considered clothes, just a few pieces of fabric. Yi Hua lifted a palm-sized, small piece of black fabric, tying the laces on both sides around his waist. Then he picked up a lace collar and fastened it around his neck. In addition, there was an armband and a thigh band, tightly cinched around his muscles. Of course, now, there was still the final step. Yi Hua walked out of the bathroom, came to his own wardrobe, opened the wardrobe from the hidden compartment at the very back, took out something furry. It was a silver foxtail. Back when that annoying fox had just moved in, he had once heard Li Yue say she really liked the fluffy tail of a fox. It felt very comfortable to touch. At the time, he didn't know what had gotten into him. He actually secretly bought a simulated foxtail. Now it seems it has finally come in handy. Yi Hua touched the fine fur. The texture was indeed good. The fur on a lion's body is stiffer. It really can't compare to this. Afterward, Yi Hua took several deep breaths. Then, holding the simulated tail, he pushed it toward the area behind him. Li Yue had been waiting in her room for a long time, but hadn't seen any sign of him. She was a bit worried, so she immediately went to Yi Hua's door. Li Yue quickly turned the doorknob, opened the door, and walked in. Yi Hua, are you okay? The last word was forcibly swallowed back down. She looked at the sight before her, so different from the usual uniform, and from a distance, imposing and untouchable. Yi Hua, for a moment, she only felt her throat tighten, unable to utter a single word. Yi Hua had originally been struggling with this tail. When he ordered this tail, The size of the tail's tip wasn't specified. Now, he just found it difficult. So it took some extra time. He hadn't expected Li Ye to suddenly walk in. Instantly let Utalite exclamation. However, as one who has weathered storms and waves, the chief commander, he quickly composed his flustered emotions, came before Li Yue, dropped to both knees. Apologies. I've kept you waiting. Li Yue never expected that upon pushing the door open, she would encounter such a scene. Seeing Yi Hua suddenly kneel before her, she instinctively stepped back. Only her footing was momentarily unsteady. She staggered a bit. Yi Hua swiftly rose and stepped forward, wrapping an arm around Li Yue's lower back. His tone filled with urgent concern. Are you all right? Her body suddenly collided with Yi Hua's chest. A novel sensation made Li Yue's mind once again feel a bit overwhelmed. By the time she regained her composure, the whole person had already been picked up horizontally by Yi Hua, heading towards her room. Yi Hua, I wasn't really waiting anxiously just now. I was just worried if you encountered some difficulty again. Not explaining would have been better. With this explanation, in a place Li Yue didn't notice, Yi Hua's ears turned pink. Thank you for your concern. When she was gently placed on the bed by Yi Hua, only then did Li Yue realize Yi Hua's strange attire, what should be seen and what shouldn't be seen. All appeared before her eyes. A sense of shyness belatedly washed over her. Li Yue immediately averted her gaze, her tone full of reproach. Why are you dressed like this? Because you like it. I like it. Although Li Yue found it strange, she did not refute the statement. She tilted her head, too shy to look at Yi Hua, but her mind was uncontrollably recalling the scene from just moments ago. Finally, she realized the main point. Yi Hua, aren't we supposed to be doing mental energy soothing, dressed like this? Before Li Yue could finish her sentence, she subconsciously turned her head, wanting to look at Yi Hua to continue speaking. But the touch at the tip of her nose and the warmth before her made her swallow the second half of her sentence. At this moment the entire Yi Hua's nose tip was against nose tip, pressed extremely close. She couldn't even distinguish whether the heartbeat sound by her ear was her own or Yi Hua's. Yi Hua, why are you so close to me? Yi Hua was currently kneeling on the bed with both legs, propping up his upper body with both hands, leaning his body forward, and pressing extremely close to Li Yue. Although Li Yue's words at this moment were questioning, she did not reach out to push him away. It seems she indeed likes this kind. Yi Hua secretly noted this matter in his heart. Then he picked up Li Yue's hand and placed it on his own chest. His tone was very devout. Master, you need not pity me. Soon, Yi Hua became aware of Li Yue's daze. He secretly rejoiced in his heart. This was an affirmation of his body. The matter of spiritual comfort is generally dominated by the female, leading the entire process. Although Li Yue had no movements, Yi Hua keenly captured from her eyes a bit of anticipation and novelty. Only then did he become bolder and continued to move closer forward. He greedily yet had to restrain himself as he enjoyed this gentleness. When Li Yue's entire person lay into the soft bed, when her eyes were filled with nothing but Yi Hua, only then did she belatedly realize herself. What on earth is she doing? Her hands are on Yi Hua's shoulders, wanting to push him away, but then becoming hesitant. She has never been involved in this kind of thing before. But Yi Hua's movements are truly gentle, making it really hard for her to refuse. What Yi Hua said earlier was indeed right. It seems she really does like it. Really cannot refuse. The hands that were originally on Yi Hua's shoulders gradually softened as well. Folks, if it's not good, we won't watch it. Luckily, there's me. Fred went on his routine patrol of the detention area under the security bureau. He completed today's patrol with a somewhat heavy heart. If he doesn't find a female partner soon, then before long, he too will go from being a high-ranking official to a prisoner. It's just a pity that his psychic power has reached SS level in the entire empire. Aside from that cruel, spoiled and unruly princess in the palace, no one can successfully soothe him. But the princess already has her own beast husband. He could only be a secondary partner. Could it be that he really has to lose all of his dignity and beg her for it. As he reached the exit of the detention area, a figure suddenly flashed through Fred's mind. That gentle little female from last night, the one who actually cared for her own. The partner condescended Tokomi to the security bureau. Female in the detention room. Fred stared at himself in front of him, the optical brain, for quite a while. Finally, he opened the light brain and found the information of that out-of-control male from last night. Then, in the name of the security bureau, he sent a message to his partner. After sending the message, Fred curled a smile at the corner of his mouth. A look of absolute certainty flashed in his eyes. He was, after all, born into the nine-tailed fox family, a superior male who successfully differentiated nine tails. To win a female's favor was as easy as turning over his hand. Early the next morning, when Li Yue woke up, she felt her whole body was soft and limp. Without much strength, she was wearing pajamas, which were probably put on her by Yi Hua after she accidentally fell asleep last night. Just thinking about what happened last night, Li Yue's cheeks instantly flushed red. Last night, I really don't know what happened. Just like that, so easily. The ground caved in. Just at that moment, Yi Hua walked in. Li Yue suddenly felt a bit flustered. How are you feeling? Are you okay? Li Yue is also speaking Zumhyet haltingly at this moment. Very. Yi Hua, you go out first. Now completely sober, she still doesn't know how to face Yi Hua. Yi Hua glanced at Li Yue with concern. In the end, I still followed her command. She gave her a slight nod. Then he turned around and was about to leave the room. Suddenly, a cry of surprise came from behind. He hurriedly turned it around to check, discovering Li Yue actually sitting on the ground. Seeing this, Yi Hua's face showed panic. He immediately steps forward and picked Li Yue up. How could you let your own wife fall to the ground? He truly deserves totally 1,000 deaths. Where do you want to go? I'll carry you there. Li Yue is a bit coy. Way. Bathroom. Good. I'll carry you over right now. Subsequently, Yi Hua strode with long legs and held. Li Yue walked into the bathroom. Do you want to use the toilet? Li Yue nodded. Then she was placed on the ground by Yi Hua. I didn't expect my legs to still feel a bit weak. A moment of unsteadiness once again fell into Yi Hua's embrace. Yi Hua looked at the little female in his arms, after pondering for a moment, subsequently opened his mouth. Let me help you. Help me. How can this help? Li Yue just finished speaking. I just felt Yi Hua holding her with one hand, reach out to touch her nightgown. Realizing what intended to do, Li Yue immediately reached out to stop it. Cannot just holding you. You use the toilet. Will not do anything else. Yi Hua's tone at this moment. It is genuinely terrifying, and his actions formed a sharp contrast. Li Yue at this moment is just like a little child, as if being held by Yi Hua. Holding her, she arrived in front of the toilet. Not allowed, Yi Hua. I am not a child anymore. Strictly speaking, I can be considered your guardian. You don't need to have excessive emotions because of this. However, Li Yue twisted her body. Suddenly, a gust of hot air comes by the ear. She could feel Yi Hua's nose tip was gently rubbed against me own cheek twice. Good. Yi Hua's voice is always soft and magnetic, containing infinite tenderness and deep affection, as if there is a magical power. It made Li Yue's consciousness feel somewhat euphoric. By the time she reacted again, I have already finished using the restroom. Yi Hua gently tidied everything up for her. Then he picked her up and brought her to in the restaurant downstairs. The table is already filled with delights, mouth-watering food. A blush spread across her face. A faint blush. Gradually, this blush spreads from the cheeks to the roots of the ears, till the entire face was shrouded in a thin veil of shyness. Yi Hua served Li Yue the dishes. Then she sat opposite her. Just is. At this moment, the little female is silent for a long time. Haven't even started eating yet. Yi Hua lifted his eyes to look at his little female. Her eyes are lowered. Long eyelashes trembled gently. A shyness flickers in the eyes, with the flustered light, occasionally looking up at him, and quickly lowered his head again, looking at Li Yue in this state. He just thought it was extremely adorable. Suddenly, the thought of teasing her arose. You should adapt to all of this as soon as possible. For example, feel free to order me around. Or is it? Use me. Sure enough, after he said this, the flush on Li Yue's face deepened a few shades more. She picked up the utensils as if in a fit of pique. Eat all the food in front of you. Stuff it into his own mouth. Cheeks puffed out. Very cute. I don't understand what you're saying. Even when angry, you're still this adorable. Yihua's heart had long since melted into a puddle. He also didn't expect that. Just 2 days ago was still for Li Yue still hadishim to the bone. Today, to make her happy. Actually able to take the initiative to lower one's posture. Abandoning self-respecto say such things. That perpetually cold face of his. Finally Managetto put on a smile. Eat slower. That was just a joke. Because of the little incident just now. This meal Li Yu eat very quickly. After finishing the meal, she sat on the sofa listlessly. At this moment, she received a message in her optical brain to take Yihua to the security bureau. Information for conducting out-of-control value detection. Yihua, do you have anything to do later? Let's go to the security bureau together. Yihua was tie-dyeing up the kitchen, replied while. Thank you for your concern. No plans for today. In the past, only Thaza betrayed by their own. Female disliked male. Only then will they be mercilessly thrown into the security bureau, destroyed by the empire. And he, now, obviously not within this rank. Thinking of this, Yihua's mouth corner involuntarily. A smile was evoked. It turns out to be cared for and concerned about by someone. The feeling is like this. And so, when Yihua's eye shelled an unconcealable, Sparrow appeared inside security bureau. Staff at the bureau, they all felt extremely astonished. Sent to the secure bureau by the female. How can there still be males who can laugh? Li Yue and Yihua arrived together. The place mentioned in the notice. Inside the office at the top floor of the security bureau. The person sitting inside there. Naturally, it eyes off utmost nobility. Leading the entire security bureau. All the males of the entire empire are a presence not to be offended. However, arriving at the office door, the joy in Yihua's eyes instantly turned into vigilance. He smelled a scent. Extremely unpleasant taste. Yihua, let's go in quickly. Hearing Li Yihua's voice, Yihua's face then wear a smile again. He originally intended to step forward and knock on the door. But the hand had not yet fallen. The door automatically opened. Seeing Li Yihua walk in, the person sitting behind the desk, get up immediately and walk towards her. The man is wearing a silver-white uniform. The lines are crisp and fluid. The metal buckle and the belt emits, with a cold and stern luster. It added a touch of heroic spirit to him. Under his feet, it is a pair of white military boots. The material of the boots is as white as snow. The boot shaft height is just right. Tightly wrapped around his calf, makes the legs appear even more slender. Li Yue saw this familiar face. Some accidents. It's you. And Yihua. Upon seeing Themin in front of me, this outfit is deliberately chosen with ulterior motives. Teeth clenched, squeezing out 3 words through clenched teeth. Yes, you. Fred ignored Yihua's hostility. His face carries an elegant yet a smile full of affinity. Right hand rests on the left shoulder, bowing down towards Li Yue. It is a great honor. I see you again. So you are Thebro chief, sir? I received the message you sent. Just bring Yihua here for out-of-control value monitoring. Just out-of-control value monitoring doesn't seem to be here, does it? Upon hearing this, Fred opened his mouth to explain. You are the emperor-resisted female. During the monitoring of the out-of-control value in males, you should rest here for a while, behind Li Yue, in places she cannot see. Yihua's face was as shrouded by frost, eyes ablaze with fire of anger. The voice was cold and hard as ice. What do you mean? Want to be alone with this little female? Finally managed to cosy away a fox. How come another Onehas come up again? Yihua. Don't be afraid. I will be with you. Security Bureau regarding males. What does it represent? Li Yue now also very clearly. She subconsciously recalled Yihua's actions just now. Blame it on his nervousness and fear. Discovering Li Yue turning her head to look at herself. Yi Hua immediately lowered his gaze to conceal it. The anger in one's own eyes. When he opened his eyes again, the gaze has already become focused and warm. Looking at the two people in front of me, the appearance of mutual affection. Fred's heart was naturally filled with a sour bitterness. Why isn't he this lucky? Able to match such a perfect female. But very soon, his heart was once again filled with fighting spirit. He won't give up easily. Fred slowly began to speak. Commander Yi, you actually dare to let your wife be the master. Go to that kind-of dangerous place. As a male, it is truly incompetent. However, Commander, you have been preoccupied with warfare all year round. There will be some areas of incompetence. It's also unavoidable. Unlike our nine-tailed fox clan, Zhongdi's lesson must be studied once every year. Naturally, such an oversight would not occur. Yi Hua clenched both fists, because the strength is too great. The knuckles crackle. Such a familiar tone, such familiar rhetoric. Once upon a time, that annoying. When the fox was still around, he's heard it so many times that his ears are about to grow calluses. The morality lessons of the nine-tailed fox clan. What exactly are they? What kind of improper things are you teaching? Don't say that, Yi Hua. He is very considerate towards me. Hearing Li Yu speak up in defense, the hostility that Yi Hua had initially displayed instantly faded away. He stepped forward boldly and took Li Yu's hand. Raising an eyebrow at Fred, he said, "My partner treats me very well. I will naturally protect her at all times. There's no need for the bureau chief to trouble himself over this matter." Having said that, Yi Hua then took Li Yushand and prepared to leave. If Fred is in his beast form at this moment, then his pair of fox ears, it must have drooped down. There are actually females who take the initiative to defend males. Yi Hua actually has such a partner. It really makes people jealous. Seeing the two of them leave, Fred immediately quickened his pace to catch up. Miss Li Yue, this way please. Out of control value test area. Yi Hua lay down inside a detection pod. The detection pod begins operation. Fred and Li Yu stood aside together. This is also a rare opportunity for Fred to be able to Li Yue alone together. Time. But he didn't have a time to say a word. The little female beside him immediately had a face full of, asked with concern, one question after another. Director General. Yi Hua lying in, will there be danger? Director General. What else should be paid attention to in daily life? Director General. Fred didn't expect. How could there be females who are disgusted by their own? The beast husband cares to such an extent. His jealousy towards Yi Hua deepened quite a bit again. He cleared his throat, using a voice that one thinks is quite good, explaining the questions just raised one by one, while showing to Li Yue. His voice is rich and magnetic. Wait until everything's explained. Fred finally seized the fleeting opportunity, pretending as if nothing happened. Opening his mouth to test the waters, he said, Miss Li Yue, Imperial law allows females possessing multiple beast husbands. Now, you only have your own beast husband. And the commander is busy with work again. There will always be areas that are not adequately taken care of. May I ask what kind of male you like? Perhaps I can help introduce you. Just in the midst of Fred's expectant gaze, Li Yue shook his head. No, I don't need any other beast husband. Hearing this, Fred's thin lips parted slightly. Focus and female shave never been related. He actually managed to counter such a fine female. At this moment, Yi Hua walked out of the detection pod. Li Yue immediately dashed to his front. How about Yi Hua? Yi Hua caught it steadily, rushing towards his only Yue. The voice is incomparably gentle. The test results are out. Out of control value is 0. That's really great. She immediately turned it around and looked at Fred. Director General, Yi Hua's out of control value has already dropped to 0. Will we not have Tokomi here anymore? Although it is very hard to part with. But Fred still tried his best. Pull out a smile. Nodding, he said. That's right. When Yi Hua held Li Yue's hand. When passing by his side, Fred can see from Yi Hua's eyes a very clear warning and hostility. But so what? It seems this matter needs a different approach. Now, as soon as I returned home, Li Yue leaned on the sofa, found one that's extremely comfortable. The posture began toss with the light brain, and Yi Hua casually found The excuse came to the second floor. No one knows this house better than he does. This was once the land of countless Li Yue, the place where he was tortured and humiliated. Yi Hua walked around inside, finally took down a black whip. Li Yue used to like this the most. Conveniently, every single one hurts, but the traces left on Thebati have a unique charm. Fred's actions today. He had no choice but to start taking precautions. After all, Li Yue was once taken advantage of by a useless fox seduced away. He needs to use some small tricks. Keep Li Yue. Took the things. Yi Hua then quickly walked back to in his own room. Take out your uniform from the wardrobe. A dark blue uniform. The fabric is crisp and stiff. Golden buttons on dark blue. It shines brilliant linder the contrast. Like the twinkling stars in the night sky, Yi Hua quickly changed into this uniform. Then, taking the tools, he walked downstairs. Will wear a uniform. Not just Fred alone. Li Yue heard footsteps approaching him. Yi Hua. I saw it on the light brain. Some males above's class may appear. The situation where the out of control value suddenly rebounds. Yi Hua's tone was steady and soothing. Gentle and rich with magnetism. May I ask for a comforting from you? Of course, that's fine. Once might not be enough, right? They all say it must be continuous. Pacify for 7 days or more. The male's out of control value will then be completely stabilized. Based on the previous experience, she just needs to be touched and hugged. Yi Hua's out of control value can be lowered a lot. Li Yue raised his head. Just the sight before Mai's directly made. Her eyes were fixed straight ahead. Yi Hua is dressed in a dark blue commander's uniform, like the mysterious ocean under the deep night sky, exuding an irresistible charm. The solemnity and dignity. The fabric is crisp and neatly tailored like a knife cut. It accentuates the wearer's resolute demeanor, chin and stern face. The belt at the waist is tightly fastened, highlighting Yi Hua's tall and straight posture. The metal buckle on the belt emits a cold, gleaming luster. He still holds a small ether whip in his hand. Yi Hua came before Li Yue, kneeled down on one knee, offering the whip in hand with both hands. Play something you like. Li Yue also doesn't know what's wrong with herself. Unexpectedly, as if bewitched, took it over. The little leather whip in Yi Hua's hand. It's just thatches, now completely. The mind is all in a daze, because the person in front is wearing a crisp uniform. The man is really excessively alluring. How do you want to play? Yi Hua lowered his head to kiss his own face, pressed against Li Yue's palm, rubbed against. I don't know why. He is being caressed by Li Yue. Actually, I'm getting a bit addicted. Feeling the warmth in the palm of the hand, Li Yue finally managed to snap back to reality. He hurriedly put the small item in his hand into his pocket. The whip is thrown aside. Yi Hua, don't be like this. You will get hurt. This bit of pain is nothing to him. Actually, it's nothing. It's just that when Yi Hua looked up and saw Li Yue's earnest and caring gaze, he then swallowed these words. Yi Hua, there's still some time before lunch. Let me give you a spiritual soothing. Good. Li Yue was about to put her hand stuck on Yi Hua's head. The next instant, she was then picked up entirely by Yi Hua. Go up to the second floor, until Li Yue was placed on the bed by Yi Hua, feeling Yi Hua on her cheek, and when the dragonfly skims her face on the back of the neck, it was only then that she realized something was wrong. Yi Hua, do we want to do what we did last night? Yi Hua's hair swept past her neck and collarbone, a bit itchy. You just agreed a moment ago, didn't you? Shall I provide comfort? Hearing this, Li Yue only realized it belatedly. It turns out that the comfort she had in mind was Yi Hua. What has been done Hasselway's been two things. Actually, the explanation got stuck in my throat. For a long while, heckled and say a word. What's wrong? Even knowing what is about to happen next. Even if this matter had nothing to do with her from the start. The conception differs greatly from reality. But Li Yue still did not speak up to stop it. Haven't. Nothing much. That's it. Your belt is digging into me. Hearing Li Yue's voice, Yi Hua immediately stood up and untied his belt, taking advantage of the moment, took off his outer garment as well. The shirt was tightly stretched across his broad chest, as if trying to stretch the shirt open. Li Yue has been staring intently at Yihua, those full and smooth muscle lines. Suddenly, her hand was held by Yihua, placed on his chest. Yihua once again leaned down. The dragonfly skims the surface of the water, gentle, yet extremely precise, mobilizing her body. However, the foreign body sensation from earlier has not disappeared. Li Yue reached out and gave a push. Yihua. Still, it got to me. Yihua's both cool and doting. The voice sounded in her ear. Good. I will move it away right now. Subsequently, she heard Yihua's muffled groan. Only then did she realize anything was wrong. Li Yue suddenly remembered in his mind. What happened last night? The clear images are vividly before my eyes. Just thinking about the ferocity of that thing. Li Yue couldn't help but shiver all over. Yihua. I'm scared. Yihua's kissing action did not stop. Trust me. Will make you feel comfortable. From this point onward, Li Yue clearly felt his gaze falling on. The kisses on her body became even more intense. After the matter is completed, till noon, Li Yue still hasn't woken up. But not eating is not an option. Moreover, Li Yue just now also counted. A lot of energy has been consumed. But the darling on the bed now. Even opening my eyes is a struggle. Yihua pondered for a moment. Finally, a bottle of nutrient solution was brought over. He held the delicatechild in his arms, carefully poured the nutrient solution into Li Yue's mouth. A bottle of nutritional drink finished. Only then did Li Yue recover some of her strength. She collapsed limply into Yihua's embrace. Suddenly came to mind, struggling to hold up the body. Yihua, I said this morning about the 7 consecutive appeasements. Doesn't count, okay? She had no idea at the time that it was actually Yihua, the so-called appeasementus, doing this kind of thing. Upon hearing this, Yihua's smile carried boundless adoration. He lowered his head and drubbed with the tip of his nose. Rubbed against Li Yue's nose tip. This is, then said softly. Good. Subsequently, Yihua placed Li Yue back on the bed again. She still needs to rest. Well, now. Just. Yihua, before leaving the bedroom, still couldn't restashard and took a look. Li Yue on the bed at a glance. He feels a bit strange. Last night, including just now. After 2 rounds off reassurance ended, Li Yue also showed obvious. The fatigue and weakness. Could it be Li Yue herself? Mental power level too low. Unable to bear it, thus leading to this. It seems, after Li Yue recovers her strength, he needs to take her to the hospital. Checked it carefully. Within the security bureau, Fred is sitting in the office. Before me lies a pitch black path. The teaching Kenny emitting a cold gleam. He just found out. There was once actualion in the family. Trash doesn't know what methods were used. Successfully captivated Li Yue, even able to cling on without a name or status. By Li Yue's side for many years. The light brain on the wrist kept beeping. Pop-up message prompt. His gaze never gave any. Those messages are absolutely true. Full of thoughts about what one should be. How to win Li Yue's favor. At this moment, the office door was knocked. Walking in. It is Hugh, young master. You looking for me? Hugh saw the cold, stern expression. Serious Fred. The whole person couldn't stop trembling. He is just one in the 9-tailed fox family. A completely insignificant waste of space. And the one standing before me is none other than a rare sight of ants level powerhouse. Even more so, they have gained the favor of the family head. Fred's eyes quickly swept over Hugh. In my heart, I feel quite disdainful. Whether its appearance or figure, not even half as good as him. Today, he is really dressed up carefully. Li Yue actually remained unmoved. Thinking of this, Fred tried hard to suppress the emotions in his heart. Looking down from above, he asked. The security bureau received the complaint. It is said that there are molesting hormone-based perfumes, maliciously inducing other males to lose control. According to the rules, such males should be destroyed immediately. Upon hearing this, Hugh knelt down on the spot, shaking like a sieve. Young master, please spare me. Fred's voice remained as cold as ice. He sneered coldly. Heh, confess without being pressed. The surveillance video has already been delivered to me. You are now considered as good as dead. However, given that you area of my 9 Tails clan, I don't mind going for you. Go to Li Yui's residence for a visit. For the sake of your little life, I advise you to quickly hand over Li Yue. The preferences of adults are fully disclosed. If it were placid in ordinary times, Hugh, who is somewhat a cleaver, perhaps, able to detect Fred's little thoughts. But now my own life is at stake. Naturally, there is no spare time to think about other things. He shivered and told the truth. Li Yue, she? Most of all, I enjoy tormenting males. Like to see molescent hold back. Timely and rational crying. Hugh will have answer happen by Li Yue's side. Everything is revealed in great detail without leaving anything out. After listening to Hugh finish saying everything, Fred's eyebrows couldn't help but furrow. How does Li Yue in Hugh's mouth compare with? What he saw with high sound eyes was different. But it's not important. Such a beautiful, kind, and gentle female. Just like watching males cry, that's all. What could possibly be wrong? Fred's palms are spread open. Above instantly appeared the pitch-black long whip. Get out. Upon hearing this, Hugh's legs went weak, fled the place in a frantic scramble. Wade immediately locked the door of the office. All curtains are completely drawn. Subsequently, he took off his own shirt, revealing a solid and powerful upper body. He took that long whip and came before the mirror. Release one of the 9 tails within oneself. Wrap the whip with tip of the tail. Subsequently, Thingle was designed. Tail with force. The long whip lashed fiercely across his back. A red mark instantly appeared. This bit of pain. It's nothing to him at all. Subsequently, one after another, red marks appear. On his back. Under his careful design. Those red marks are very neat and pleasing to look at. 50 lashes ended. Fred then withdrew his own tail. He came in front of the mirror, trying hard to blink both eyes. The narrow, fox-like eyes instantly transformed into almond-shaped eyes. Eyes shimmering with a pitiable charm. He was very satisfied with this expression of his. Subsequently, Fred puts on his clothes, walking out of the house. Office door. Indicating the secretary who has been waiting here early. Do you know what to do? The secretary bowed and nodded. Understood, my lord. Li Yue also didn't know herself. How long have I been sleeping exactly? Open your eyes again. The fatigue on my body has indeed eased quite a bit. Really strange. Obviously, both times she didn't use much force. It's all Yi Hua taking the initiative. Why is it that I am the one who is so tired? Li Yue got out of bed and simply stretched her body a bit. Suddenly, he heard a sound coming from outside the balcony. A sound of a small animal's cry. She hurriedly opened the balcony door and walked out. She looked down, discovering one infinitesimal garden in the backyard. A small, fluffy animal with snow-white fur all over its body. Just lying prone beside the low bushes. There are still a few streaks of red on its body. It seems like it's bleeding. Li Yue quickly walked to a small garden downstairs. That poor, white, fluffy one. There is indeed blood flowing on the body. Yi Hua, come help me quickly. Hearing Li Yue's shout, Yi Hua rushed over at the fastest speed, instantly transformed into a beast form. Jumped to Li Yue's side. Only then did it regain its human form. Yi Hua, there is a little fox injured here. Yi Hua turned to look at the sound. The teeth clenched instantly. What a fine one, withered between the eyebrows. This level 9-tailed fox. Especially Li Yushan's, at this moment, continuously stroking that fox. Yi Hua, you quickly go get some medicine. If it were in the past, Yi Hua will definitely do it immediately. Implement Li Yue's request. Just, this fox is clearly pretending. How could an S's grade mala possibly be because of some superficial injuries have left you this week, huh? Yi Hua stepped forward to one lying on the ground. The white fox is lifted up. Afterwards, he said to Li Yue, don't worry. The villa is equipped with technologically advanced treatment pods. This fox will not be in any danger. Li Yue also nodded worriedly. Then let's quickly put it into the treatment pod. Got Li Yue's approval. Yi Hua's footsteps quickened, feigning illness to seek sympathy from females. Such a little trick. He was on the last fox's body. I've already seen it countless times. It seems the young master of the 9-tailed fox family. Your skills are anything more than this. At this moment, Yehua has not yet realized. I thought the problem was too simple myself, and the white fox whose tail was grabbed by Yi Hua. at an angle where Li Yue cannot see, staring deathly Li Hua towards him, gritting teeth and baring fangs, panting heavily. Yi Hua, you're holding it like that. It will hurt even more. Let me carry it over. Just as Li Yushans were about to, when encountering the white fox, Yi Hua instantly blocked the white fox in one's own arms. Then, with a doting tone, he said to Li Yue, he is very heavy. I'll come then. If it weren't for Li Yue being present, Fred, who heard these words, was probably on the spot. I will summon my nine-tailed fox. Had a big fight with Yi Hua. This is what he insists in exercising every day. A figure to be proud of. Where did it sink? Although not being held by Li Yue at the moment. But Fred is not in a hurry, because his plan has only just begun. Just as the two people and the fox had just passed through. When walking through the back door into the villa, the doorbell at the front door suddenly rang. Li Yue was about to step forward to open the door, but was stopped by Yi Hua. He casually placed that fox on the ground, then went forward to open the door. The visitor is a young male. However, what he was wearing, the uniform reveals his identity. He is from the security bureau. Hello, sorry to bother you. My name is Vicky, here to see my young master. Have you seen a wounded fox? Until this moment, Yi Hua still hasn't realized the severity of the matter. He naively thought the person in front of him, the youth, could be by Li Yue's side. That damn fox took away. Therefore, he did not stop him. Let that young man walk in. At this moment, the white fox is already lying on Li Yue's leg, being stroked gently by Li Yue, the fur. Vicky stepped forward. After bowing to Li Yue, he said, Lord Li Yue, thank you for taking me in. I will now feed him the ability to the potion Tor story human form. After saying this, Vicky stepped forward to give a pill, sent into the white fox's mouth. Not long after, the original Fluffy instantly turned into a man with his upper body naked. The change is too sudden. The same man, yet different. Different scenes, different attire. Li Yue was instantly captivated by Fred. Your figure caught my attention. His chest muscles airful yet well proportioned. With each of his shallow, his breathing gently rises and falls, just like waves gently lapping against the beach. With a kind of irresistible rhythmic beauty. Fred, at this moment, completely different from what she saw in the morning. His chest and back are both marked with numerous red streaks. The complexion is also slightly pale, and half lying on her leg was Fred. Suddenly started speaking. Lord Li Yue, your hand. Upon hearing this, Li Yue only then realized, my own hand actually fits so perfectly. The ground stuck behind Fred's perky buttocks. A very elastic buttocks. She was just petting fluffy one. The hand didn't have a time to withdraw. Really? No ulterior motives at all. Li Yue immediately wired where her own hand from. Fred's perky buttocks were taken away. The sensation on the palm of the handmaid. The tips of her ears were slightly warm. At this moment, Vicky suddenly spoke respectfully to Li Yue. Lord Li Yue, please spare my young master. Upon hearing this, Li Yue was even more bewildered. What do you mean by that? Vicky's face was full of anxiety and pleading. He continued to say, the young master has received Lord Yi Hua. A submitted appeal. Only then did they discover that among the nine-tailed clan, there was one. The fox has offended you and your beast husband. The young master deeply feels his governance is ineffective, then took out the black iron whip himself. Punished with a full 100 lashes, 50 lashes on the chest and 50 on the back. I originally intended to come to your residence in person to apologize. Didn't expect it'll happen halfway. The young master is exhausted to lack of physical strength. Then transform into a beastly form. Lord Li Yue, I beg you to consider me young master. Already severely injured, spare him. Li Yue exclaimed on the spot. What? 100 lashes? This matter has nothing to do with Fred. I have never blamed Fred. Li Yue was surprised by Fred's action. Looking down, just realized he actually still has it lying on his own leg. And Fred on the leg seems discovered Li Yue's line of sight. He propped up his shins trying to get up, but the hands are trembling unsteadily. The body hasn't been lifted very high, then fell back onto Li Yue's lap once again. Fred put on a weak appearance. The appearance said to Li Yue, "Sorry. Li Yue-sama. Offended you again." Subsequently, he is planning Tatri getting up again. She immediately extended her hand gently, stroking Fred's back, deliberately avoiding scars on his back. "No hurry. Don't move around so much when you're this badly injured." Although the goal has been achieved, the plan isn't over yet. Fred once again made a move to want the difficult appearance of getting up. Vicky once again urgently spoke up. "Young master, what Lord Li Yue said is, the black iron whip not only injures the skin and flesh, it can also harm the tendons, bones, and internal organs. You'd better not move around to avoid aggravating the injury." "How can that be? This time I came here to find Lord Li Yue, have mercy. This is already extremely offensive. How dare I continue to stay and cause too much trouble?" At this moment, Li Yue's voice carried a hint of anger. "Fred, don't mess around. Be good and lie down." And standing by its side all along, Yihua, who did not make a sound, coldly watching Hat lies before me. Master and servant are acting in a play. His heart is filled with contempt. Any torture divisifor males above S grade. It will not cause any substantial harm. Fred's injuries all over his body won't get better. How long will it take to heal on its own? It's hard to believe he actually managed to come up with such a move, actually taking advantage of Li Yue's soft-heartedness. A few days ago, was still endlessly immersed in Li Yue. Gentle and soft-hearted. Yihua, first time feeling me own little female. Should not be so soft-hearted. Yihua took a few steps forward and arrived beside the sofa, speaking softly to Li Yue. "You, this injured fox, leave it to me. Treating wounds requires a great deal of effort. It will tire you out." Yihua, wait a moment. I want to give it a try. Subsequently, she concentrated and calmed her mind. Placed the palm off hand against Fred on the muscularly taut back, because she just felt a sensation she had never experienced before. The power flows within the body. When I was in the beast taming kingdom, always hearing about the imperial brother will awaken supernatural abilities. The royal sisters mentioned the power of supernatural abilities. The feeling of flow inside the body, feeling this wonderful sensation for the first time. She wants to give it a try. Fred felt a pair of warm hand press against my own back. Suddenly, he clearly felt a wave of refreshing coolness. The power flows within his body, and the original harms pain on his body. Suddenly, it was all swept away. Even what has always been hidden deep within one's own heart. Need to make an effort to restrain the out of control. The wildness also eased quite a bit. "You!" Suddenly, Yihua's exclamation rang out by the ear. Fred also immediately turned around to look at Li Yue. Only her face showed obvious fatigue. Seems to have a feeling of dizziness. Fred, at this moment also couldn't care less. What acting? He immediately climbed up from Li Yue's leg, just about to sit aside and show concern for Li Yue's situation. The body was suddenly dredged away by someone. Reacted again. Yihua has already sat down beside Li Yue, holding her in his arms. "Where are you feeling? Unwell?" Li Yue struggled to maintain his own sobriety. "Yihua, I feel a bit tired." Upon hearing this, Yihua is still very worried. He immediately carried Li Yue horizontally towards the second floor, placed inside the treatment pod. First, click the button to check. Regarding her physical condition, the results show Li Yue, apart from being physically exhausted, indeed, there are no other issues. Yihua finally let out a sigh of relief at this moment. He picked up Li Yue, wanting to take her to the bedroom. When walking out off treatment room, only then did he realize that Fox also followed along. "The precious one in my arms is ill because of this jar of wine. The poor Fox only become like this now." Yihua, naturally to Fred, there's no good expression on the face. He ignored Fred, holding Li Yue. "Riodito just skip over. Never expected the delicate darling in my arms." Actually spoke up. Yihua. Wait a moment. Upon hearing this, Yihua had nakasi but to comply. Stopped in my tracks. Li Yue looked up at Fred, because fatigue is setting in at this moment. Her voice has also become soft. "Fred, how are you feeling now? Still feeling unwell? What just happened?" Fred is also filled with guilt. He didn't expect it to be because of his own selfishness. Actually made Li Yue so tired. Right now, he never expected. Even if something like this happened, Li Yue actually still willing to talk to him. Take the initiative, Tokari, about his situation. Lord Li Yue, rest assured. My body has gotten much better already. Hearing this, Li Yue also felt relieved. It seems what she just did was all useful. If you feel unwell next time, you can come find me again. He just started to be able to feel it. The mania inside Fred's body. She once touched Yi Hua, also felt the same sense of mania. After 2 nights of appeasement, touch Yi Hua again. Then there was no longer this feeling. Li Yue guessed. I'm afraid this is what Avarioni is talking about. Out of control, isn't it? Just thinking in my heart, Li Yue suddenly felt his own forehead. A warm, soft kiss fell upon. It is Yi Hua, you. Let me carry you back to the room to rest. Don't worry about Sutsiders for now. At the moment, Li Yue is feeling unwell. Fred naturally had no mind to either go and fight with Yi Hua for something. He took the initiative to say goodbye to Li Yue. Lord Li Yue, you should rest well first. I will visit again another day. Repay your kindness. Having said that, then took his secretary and left. Yi Hua carried Li Yue into her bedroom. Li Yue at this momentous also completely closed my own eyes. After all, she really feels very tired. Suddenly, she felt her entire body all wrapped up in hot water. She quickly opened her eyes. Only then did I realize I was lying down in a bathtub filled with hot water, and Yi Hua is sitting to the side, holding a soft cloth to wipe her body. When were her clothes taken off? Even before, during the spiritual soothing sessions, also pulling the curtain and turning off the lights. Can't see what it is. At the moment, she was at Yi Hua for the first time. So candid before me. Yi Hua, you. Li Yue panicked and wanted to reach out. Covered the key areas. In the midst of a flurry of activity, almost slipped down from the bathtub. Fortunately, Yi Hua caught her in time. Her slipping body, feeling the warm, large hand on the back. Li Yue can feel his own heart thumping wildly. She closed her eyes as if covering her ears to steal a bell. Forget it. During the previous 2 instances of mental energy soothing, all have been touched, kneaded, rubbed, and kissed by Yi Hua. Now, they've all been seen. Nothing much. Li Yue tried hard to convince herself in her heart. This is nothing. This really isn't much. At this moment, a soft chuckle from Yehua sounded by the ear. Li Yue curiously opened her eyes. Only then did they see the indulgence brimming in Yi Hua's eyes. Looking at her, his gaze gentle and focused. Li Yue was about to blame him for mocking herself. Didn't expect that. The Yi Hua in front of me actually. I've been completely honest with her. Yi Hua laughed and said, you've seen it all. This should be fair now, right? Li Yue's gaze was captured by Yi Hua. The chest muscles, abs, and Adonis belt, as well as cough, 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 cough. The astonishing strength below has captured attention. Yi Hua naturally discovered Li Yue, the look of infatuation in the eyes. He took Li Yue's hand, stuck on his own pectoral muscles. You can touch me. As soon as the words fell, the delicate child in the bathtub instantly flushed with red cheeks, eyes filled with anger. You're talking nonsense. Then, Zhao Jiao turned it around, facing him with her back. Can be pasted on his chest, yet there was no intention to take it back. Yi Hua saw this. Couldn't help but let out a light laugh again. He then got up, lifting my leg, stepped into the bathtub, holding Li Yue in his arms. Yi Hua, what do you want to do? Naturally, I will serve you with all my heart and effort. Afterwards, headed Li Yue's hands on his own leg. Now, it's finally convenient for you to get hands on. Having said that, he was then embraced by the delicate child in his arms, giving a coquettish glare. Upon seeing this, he no longer teased her either. Holding the soft and delicate little handkerchief, carefully wiped Li Yue's body. Some relaxing elements have been added to this bathtub. Muscle nerve potion can let Li Yue better relax down. The efficacy is indeed quite good. When he had just finished wiping Li Yue's upper body, the sweet child in my armchasts already fallen asleep. Yi Hua could only ease up on the force, continue wiping Li Yue's body. Early the next morning, Li Yue rarely wakes up earlier than Yi Hua. Wake up from a sleep. Sure enough, feeling refreshed and invigorated. Yihua beside me is still fast asleep. Li Yue stared at his slowly heaving chest. My own palm suddenly itches so much. It's all his fault for deliberately flirting with her last night. She was before crossing over. She has been staying in the palace all along. Don't even mention men. Even male animals, she haven't really encountered it much. Yihua just always happens to flirt with her. To be honest, although they had only ever had 3 intimate encounters, but her hands seemed already picked up bad habits. Li Yue stared at Yihua's face for a long while. After confirming that the other person is really asleep, she finally carefully lifted the blanket, hooked the finger and pulled open Yihua, the half-open pajamas on the body, while in motion, observing Yihua's eyes, still muttering to himself, "Yihua, don't you wake up. I'll just touch it once. We are already partners. Touching once probably should be a big deal." From the very beginning, lightly pressing against it. Later on, they became increasingly bold, pinching and touching. Focused and dedicated, Liu naturally had no idea how much agony Yihua is enduring at this moment. He wants to pretend to be asleep. Control your expression. Must not reveal any flaws. Still have to endure it. Damn it. Couldn't hold back. Just as Li Yue was feasting his eyes and hands, preparing. When it's time to restore everything to its original state, only then did I realize Yihua's astonishing strength has already begun to show. Seeing this, Li Yue immediately stopped. She stared blankly at what was in front of her. Don't know what to do. She raised her head and looked at the clock on the wall. It's almost time for Yihua's daily. Time to wake up. Li Yue was in a hurry. Just hide directly under the covers, covering the empty person inside. Exactly. She did not wake up. I don't know what just happened either. Yihua lying beside, hearing the movement beside me. He carefully opened his eyes. A slit. Observe what the little female next to you is doing. Upon seeing Li Yue's entire people are all under the covers afterwards. Only then did he dare to open his eyes and let out a sigh of relief. Yihua helplessly looked down at his lower body. Originally, such matters will pass after a while. It has returned to its original state. He has been enduring Eton his own all year round. But now, lying beside me's my own little female. How can his restless heart be calmed down again? Suddenly, the little female beside me stirred again. Yihua could only close his eyes once again. Pretend as if nothing happened. Li Yue covered herself under the quilt. Not long has passed. Then I felt difficulty breathing. Then had no choice but to stick my head out again. But Yihua's, Li Yue whispered to himself. This shouldn't be big deal, right? Upon hearing this, Yihu lying beside pretending to be asleep. I'm practically going to burst from holding it in. What's going on? Hearing the exclamation of the little female beside him. The bedding under him was already. He was tightly gripped by him, barely able to maintain it. He couldn't help but scream loudly in his heart. You, stop looking. The little female beside seems to be. Heard the cry from his heart. Unexpectedly, he suddenly got out of bed and hid in the bathroom. Yihua was finally able to breathe a sigh of relief. He sat up, helplessly looking at myself beneath, struggling with woe I am right now. Do you want to get up? Li Yue actually walked out of the bathroom again. He could only lie in bed again pretending to be asleep. Just this once. It was even more difficult to endure than he had imagined. Li Yue came out from the bathroom, kneeling on the bed, hands by the side of Yihua's raised strength, hesitating whether to take action or not. Just now she was hiding in the bathroom. I've already checked it with the optical computer. Like Yihua, this kind of is great adult male. Under normal circumstances, it would not. This kind of situation has occurred. Want to do nothing. Isn't it just to let Hua know? What kind of person is she? No. Must not let him know. Thinking of this, Li Yue could only continue to solve it. The fire you started yourself. It was the only solution she had just found. Suddenly, a muffled groan came from beside the ear. Scared, she quickly turned her head to look at Yihua. The other party hasn't woken up yet. Only then did I feel at ease. But she didn't expect this matter to be so tricky. After a long while, the problem still wasn't resolved. She couldn't help but mutter angrily in a low voice. What is going on here? She was both anxious and angry. Suddenly, a warm, large hand grabbed her wrist. You, leave it to me. The sudden sound made Li Yue exclaimed on the spot. The body tilts to one side, leaning to one side. Fortunately, Yihu was quick-eyed and swift-handed, just in time to support her. How are you doing? Looking at Yehua's worried eyes, Li Yue is currently full of guilt. Yihua, when did you wake up? Li Yue clearly knows how panicked I am right now. Didn't expect that. What I welcomed turned out to be Yihua's warm and gentle kiss. Rest assured, I will handle this matter myself. Then Yihua got up and walked towards the bathroom. Subsequently, a sound of flowing water rang out. Li Yue, sitting on the bed, was stunned for a long while. Suddenly realizing something is off. When Yihua walked out of the bathroom, she is both ashamed and furious. Even the volume is louder than usual. There have been quite a few from Li Da. Yihua, confess honestly, when did you wake up? Yihua stepped forward and knelt on one knee. Sorry. It is my lack of endurance. Failed to let Yao endure to the fullest. If you like this way of playing, tonight, you can use secnet drugs on me. Upon hearing this, Li Yue immediately picked up the one on the bed. The pillow was thrown at him. It turns out he has been awake all along. I don't like it at all. Immediately, she was both embarrassed and annoyed, ready to get out of bed and leave. But as soon as both feet touch the ground, it just feels like the lower limbs are weak and sore. The body immediately tilted to one side. Li Yue exclaimed in surprise. The next instant, she then lay steadily in Yihua's embrace. Yihua, I feel my legs are very weak. Hearing this, Yihua is also full of worry. He recalled a few days ago, as if after each time off comforting ends, Li Yue's body will become very weak. And this time, actually, compared to the previous few times, the situation has become more serious. Eat breakfast in a while. I'll take you to find a doctor. Check your body. Subsequently, Yihua picked up Li Yue and walked downstairs. My heart is filled with hatred for that fox. The disgust has grown a bit more. If it weren't for that fox yesterday, how could my own darling so exhausted like this? On the dining table, Li Yue is obviously still bothered by what happened just now. Yihua is sitting right across from her at this moment. Just thinking about what just happened makes me. It made her feel utterly ashamed. Haven't eaten a few bites yet. Then I feel I have no appetite. Li Yue gets up, lowering my head, not looking at Yihua. I'll wait for you on the sofa. Now, my physical strength is recovered somewhat. Both legs no longer feel as sore and weak as they did just now. But I hadn't gone more than a few steps. She was still picked up horizontally by Yihua. Soon, she was gently. It was placed on the sofa. You are angry with me because I just woke up. Is it because I've just made you tired? As soon as the words were spoken, Yihua clearly saw the little female beside him, both cheeks visibly flushed red. She suddenly collapsed onto the sofa, burying the whole face in the sofa. You should go eat now. Seeing this, Yihua had nakasi but to leave. Females using males isonly natural and right. And he as a partner. These were originality's obligations. He originally thought this little female liked to play so many different tricks. But now, it seems not to be the case. She clearly likes it but doesn't dare to do it while he is conscious. Previous intimate encounters, it was all begged for by him. It was not Li Yue who initiated the conversation. Yihua is also in a dilemma at this moment. Is he going to continue like this morning? One deliberately pretending to sleep for oneself. Little Female provides opportunity. Still go and be a guide. Guide Li Yue to be bold and go for it. Do what she likes. Inside the Emperor's Advanced Hospital, Yihua accompanied Li Yue inside the consultation room. Watching the top-tier physician Lu Xian using psychic, the strength tester checks Li Yue's body. The crystal pillar of the instrument suddenly lit up. Except for Li Yue, who still hadn't figured out what was going on. The remaining two males instantly widened both eyes. Yihua looked at Lu Xian with disbelief. Dr. Lu, this is... Lu Xian put away the instrument. Exactly. Your partner's spirit, strength has increased to B grade. It seems my earlier guess was correct. Li Yue's physical weakness and The growth of spiritual power level is related. Li Yue was also very puzzled. What are you talking about? Lu Xian carefully explained to Li Yue. Under normal circumstances, the spiritual power level of females, since awakening, there will no longer be any changes. Research has found the root cause of male loss of control is entanglement. The dark matter in the spiritual sea. The spiritual power of the female can dispel these dark matters. But there will still exist a very rare situation. That is, the female will take these dark matter harnessed for one's own use. Based on your previous account, Lord Li Yue's current situation, it should belong to the latter, because of the sudden surge in mental power, causing the body to be unable to adapt. This is when weakness occurs. However, I have a special medicine here. It may just cause side effects such as mania. Just as we were speaking, Lu Xian suddenly looked up at Yihua. Commander Yihua, at that time, we will still need your help. One's own partner to vent. Yihua nodded without hesitation. No problem. However, Yihua was still not quite reassured. Vent? Venting what? Lu Xian told the truth. Generally speaking, it's a violent release. Some unknown situations may also arise. At this moment, Yihua also whispered in Li Yue's ear, gently comforting. You forgot. I am an S's level beastman. Ordinary acts of violence will not causing harm to me. Li Yue does not want Yihua to get hurt. But the two malice in front keep. They emphasize to her the necessity of taking the medicine. In the end, she still nodded and agreed. Lu Xian pushed open the side door of the consultation room. Please, Li Yue and Yihua, go in. Once inside, the wall full of torture instruments made Li Yue, on the spot, took a sharp cold breath. Why are there so many torture instruments here? The physical strength disparity between males and females is significant. To prevent thief male from venting. Unfortunately, I hurt myself at that time. Then prepared these tools. Subsequently, Lu Xian stuffed the potion into Yihua's hand. There are only 12 people left in the room. Li Yue drank the medicine. Not long after, she then felt uncomfortable all over. There is indeed a need to vent restlessness in my heart, but it hasn't reached the point of needing it yet. The degree of violent relief. She straddled over Yihua, both hands tightly hugging him. Yihua, seems like not quite right. How does she feel now compared to just now? What the doctor said is not quite the same. Outside the door, on Lu Xuan's instrument tray lay a syringe filled with tranquilizer. He held the door handle with one hand, clenching tightly until death. The door had now been opened a crack. He can hear it clearly. What happened inside? He is also a person without a partner. An S's level single Maluho has never been comforted. Fortunately, his out-of-control value has always been relatively stable. But now, inside, it's as if there's something. Things are crashing around everywhere. To break through the restraints, even the eyes are restoring deathly, staring at the crack in the door in front. Originally calm, restrained eyes. Gradually, it's starting to lose focus, stained with an unwarranted expression. A long while. He was then able to steady his stance, came back to my senses. Lu Xian carefully closed the door again. He took a deep breath, picked up the syringe from the instrument tray. Towards his own neck, he stabbed the sedative in the syringe, all poured into one's own body. Now, obviously, he is the one who needs the sedative the most. Another half an hour has passed. That door has just been opened. Yihua carried Li Yu out from inside. Lu Xian immediately walked forward. Lord Li Yue, how are you feeling now? Li Yue held in Yihua's embrace, burying her face in Yihua's chest. Answer quietly. Much better. Not that tired anymore. Indeed, much better. But just now, actually in the hospital. He did such a thing here. She has absolutely no face to go now. Saw my own attending doctor. Yihua at this moment Hazel his thoughts focused on the little female in his arms. I haven't found anything for the time being. Lu Xian's slight anomaly. Dr. Lu. My partner still needs receiving any treatment? Lu Xian controlled himself. His gaze avoided looking at Li Yue. He lowered his eyes and fiddled with the documents on the table. The tone is somewhat businesslike. Lord Li Yue is exhaustionist due to mental strain. strength and physical toughness do not match, leading to, therefore, usually can exercise daily life. Increase physical strength, can alleviate the discomfort after pacification. When saying this sentence, Lu Xian's eyes were somewhat evasive. He deliberately lowered his eyes. To cover up something, wait until Yi Hua holds Li Yue after leaving the consultation room. He then slumped into the chair. At this moment, he could finally stop restraining himself. The ground was panting heavily. After a moment, Lu Xian once again from the medicine chest. Take out a sedative. Inject into one's own body. He took out a smalone from the drawer. Mirror, look into your own eyes. Sure enough, originally dark brownies have already stained with scattered silver dots. He is a snow wolf. Unlike other ORCs, the high-ranking males of the Snow Wolf clan, whenever they can't help it, the eye color will dyed silver white. And even though he already injected a full twiddles of sedatives, the stars twinkling in the eyes, silver white still has not dispersed. Like the stars of the night sky, Lu Xian put away the mirror, close my eyes and try to calm myself down. But as soon as I close my eyes, my mind is completely filled with gentle and kind one from just now. The female looked at Yehu with concern in her eyes. This is not the first time he has met Li Yue. As the only special grade doctor of the empire, sometimes he has to be invited to the security bureau, treat the injured male. He is the Li Yue I saw at the security bureau, seeing her say a lifetime, with a face full of determination. A pair of people pleasing such things. Nowadays, he actually felt for the first time. Immoral thoughts. If Lord Li Yue is, his partner is better. But what could it possibly have to do with him? Even the most adept at bewitching and seducing females, the nine-tailed fox, the young master of the family, Fred, did not have got Li Yue's heart. He is so dull and boring, always with an icy expression. It's even less likely for a doctor. Lu Xian shook his head. Open your eyes and try to focus your thoughts on the medical record form that hasn't been completed yet. In front of me, he stared at the mental strength level. This column has encountered a difficulty. The detector shows level B. Just because of the detector currently in his hand, it can only display up to level B. After pondering for a moment, Lu Xian ultimately decided to fill in D level. The matter of female spiritual power growth. The empire has not appeared for nearly a century. Once exposed, it is bound to cause a sensation. Lord Li Yue's body. The situation is still not ideal. Not only that, and the one in the palace is not someone to be trifled with either. Yi Hua carried Li Yue from the hospital, just walked into the aircraft. He suddenly realized something was wrong. The sedative used in the consultation room, and also in Lushan's evasive gaze, he seemed to have caught a glimpse of a silver light. As a fellow male, he naturally knows. What does this mean? Not good. Something happened. After returning to the villa, Yi Hua goes to prepare lunch. Yue continued to nestle on the sofa. Suddenly, a message popped up in her optical brain. It was sent by Sumia named Nightball. A picture of a ball invitation. The physical invitation will be delivered in a moment. Li Yue scrolled the page upward. You can see there are many identical invitation letters. It seems the original host had participated quite a few times before as well. Thinking about it this way, Li Yue is even more interested in this dance now. Just at the wrong moment. The next moment, the doorbell rang. Before Li Yue could even stand up, Yi Hua had already arrived at the door. A file bag was taken. Come in and bring it to her. Printed on it is the night sky. The sight of the characters made his pupils contract. Sure enough, Li Yue took out an invitation letter from inside. Are you going to the ball tonight? Li Yue curiously flipped through the invitation letter, nodding along, tone filled with anticipation. Right. Looks like a lot of fun. At this moment, Li Yue did not notice. By his side, Yi Hu's body suddenly stiffened. She was still muttering to herself. What dress should he wear tonight? Yi Hu quickly asked it his thoughts. He said softly with a faint smile. After eating in a while, I'll go out with you to buy clothes. Tonight, I will accompany you to the ball. It will definitely let you have a great time. The two people inside the house at this moment did not notice there is a snow white one. Furry ran in from outside the villa. In the top floor office off the security bureau, Fred just walked in. Vicky then walked up with a worried look on her face. Young master, where did you go just now? You have been deliberately avoiding Her Highness the Princess these past few days. It has already caused Highness's displeasure. Just now, His Highness sent Somion to deliver a message. If you obediently attend tonight, the ball held by nightfall, then give you a... Vicky paused for a moment. This is then continued to say, grant you the titleaf serving slave, if you still don't show up tonight. She then mobilized the power of the royal family, drive you out of the empire, and will not placatimails within 1 year. Saying this, Vicky is also extremely helpless. Her Royal Highness is only one in the empire. Mental strength is a level female. Such a high level of spiritual power makes. She can command the wind and rain in the empire. No one dares to defy. And the male controlled be dark matter. To prevent themselves from losing control. Only willing to bow down and pledge allegiance. To pray for a chance to survive. The second half of Her Highness Princess's sentence is precisely, create enemies for your own young master. Turn him into the target of public criticism. Vicky looked worriedly at Fred. I never expected the other party to be just. Lowering his gaze, he pondered for a moment. He then took the invitation letter from his hand. I will go to participate tonight. Vicky didn't expect their own young master. Agreed so readily. Young master, are you really sure about this? Different from the usual dance parties, this dance is specially taking pleasure in tormenting males. He has never attended this kind of dance party. But after every dance ends, always hearing about someone's wife. The beast husband is crippled again and gone again. Whose lady has taken in a new person by her side again. The cruelty in that ball is too much to bear imagining. Young master, your highness, Thais is clearly intended. Let you become his exclusive possession. How about, I will go find soma medicine for you, so that you can attend the ball. Time not so painful. Fred shook his head. No need, go do something else. Just now, he heard outside the villa. Li Yue is also going to the dance tonight. Although I am able to attend this kind of ball, the females are all full of inherent vices. But he believes Li Yui's not that kind of person. Every time Li Yu looks at Yi Hua's eyes, the tone of speaking to Yi Hua is all. Let him go crazy with jealousy. Then tonight, he might as well take a gamble. Bet Li Yue will be same as last time. Heartache for him. The evening dance party is Yi Hua. Accompanying Li Yui's, they arrive together. The dances Abuto officially begin. There is still some time left. Yi Hua accompanied Heron the double-decker, moving around inside the banquet hall. Li Yue always felt that here. The layout is very strange. That stage is very strange. It looks like an elevator platform. And there is still on the ground many protruding small rings, very easy to trip over. It doesn't look like a place suitable for dancing at all. Li Yue felt a sudden surge in his mind. A sudden, sharp pain. Reacted again. A pair of warm, large hands covered her forehead. My head hurts again. Li Yue nodded. After the discomfort in Themond completely disappeared. Only then did she realize it was Yi Hua. What was just said is again. Did I often have a headaches before? Went to the hospital to get checked. There is no disease at all. Maybe I haven't rested well. Headache is not a big deal to begin with. Li Yue also did not pay too much attention to this point. She pulled Yi Huan, quickened her pace. Left this hall. Yi Hua took Li Yue along the familiar route with ease. They arrived at the privateeroom on the second floor, directly facing the stage that was just seen on the first floor. Li Yue suddenly had something flash through his mind, yet it remains elusive. To the specific scene, she feels her own head. A bit dizzy. Fortunately, Yehu was behind her. Timely support her to prevent her from falling. Then he picked her up horizontally. Once again, I arrived at the lounge of the private room. The room is lavishly decorated. The lights are redeemed and ambiguous. Li Yue was gently. It was placed on the sofa. She said jokingly, with a smile, Yi Hua. You are very familiar with this place. I've been here many times. This time, he lowered his gaze, concealed the expression in the eyes. Even the tone of voice was flat and unremarkable. I can't detect any emotion in his voice. Please sit here and rest for a while. There is still some time before the dance begins. After hearing this, Li Yue keenly discovered. At this moment, something is off with Yi Hua. She immediately reached out and grasped his hand hanging by his side, still trembling at this moment. What's wrong with you? Why? Possible. You didn't rest well last night, did you? Subsequently, Li Yue saw the expression on Yi Hua's face raise a smile. She could see this smile is to let her feel at ease, because that smile wasting with bitterness. Since Yi Hua is unwilling to speak, then she better not continue asking. Yi Hua, is there a bathroom in the lounge? I brought you here. The bathroom door is closed. Li Yue solves the urgent need. Strange. Even the floor and walls of the bathroom have many iron rings embedded in the ground and walls. Li Yue did not think much about it. While she was washing her hands, a bouquet of rose placed on the wash basin, she couldn't help but take a few more glances. Suddenly, a massive amount of imagery exploded in my mind. Yi Hua is completely naked, presents a very humiliating. The posture knelt before her. He is wearing a leather collar around his neck. The collar is chained tone iron ring on the ground. Let his entire face be. Have to stick close to the ground. Commander, you are absolutely stunning. I see this rose is placed in an ordinary. The vase has lost much of its luster. You say, how about I move this flowers to a different spot? As long as you're happy. The tone is extremely indifferent. Not a trace of emotion can be detected. The sound of glass shattering gemetality rang out. The rose that hasn't had its thorns trimmed yet. The water in the vase is still glass. Fragments scattered all over the ground. Commander, do it yourself. Flower arrangement. The sound of a vase shattering rings in the ears. Li Yue then came back to his senses. It turned out to be just a moment ago when I was reminiscing. Accidentally knocked over the vase. The scene on the ground and the recollection just now. The scene in the middle overlaps once again. The guilt and uncontrollable remorse of that instantly surged to the heart, and the trust made her feel a bit breathless. How can there be such a despicable person? You, what happened? Head hurting again? Hearing the voice, she looked up. The gaze completely collided into Yi Hua, eyes filled with urgent concern. Just this moment, her eyes turned red. Yi Hua. Sorry. Seeing Li Ye's sudden light in her eyes, Yi Hua suddenly felt a bit at a loss. But when he saw the ground covered with, at the time of the mess, probably can Alsagus why Li Yue, you can say this sentence now. He bent down and picked Li Yue up in his arms, put her on the sofa outside. It has been a long time. You don't need to worry about this. He softened his voice to coax. He used his fingertip to wipe away the tear that had fallen on her cheek. He originally wanted to put his hand on Li Yue, patting and soothingly on the back. But Li Yue suddenly looked up, looking at him with a serious expression. Let me see. Wound. No. Li Yue hadn't finished speaking, was interrupted by Yi Hua. Such an agitated and somewhat forceful tone. Yi Hua, she is seeing him for the first time. But you were seriously injured at that time. Not only the thorns of the rose and the glass fragments on the ground, it also grew deeply embedded into the flesh. This pain was so intense that she didn't even dare to think about it carefully. But at that time, Yi Hua endured it with sheer force. Yi Hua grabbed Li Yue's restless hands, unable to conceal the panic in their eyes. It has been a long time. The wound has long since healed. Moreover, given the strength of my body, that kind of minor injuries not worth mentioning. Just as we were saying. A pair of hands suddenly cupped under his chin. He forced himself to bite off the rest of his words. It was Li Yue, blinking her almond-shaped eyes, looking at him very seriously. Yi Hua, it was my fault before. I can compensate you. Tell me what you like. Holding Yi Hua's face with both hands, Li Yue suddenly felt Yi Hua. The entire person's body stiffened. She thought it was due to her own earlier rude behavior. Just about to withdraw both hands, suddenly, a warm, large hand, covered on her right hand, hold her hand tightly again, against Yi Hua's cheek. Pleasing you has always been my duty. You don't have to feel guilty about it. Actually, compared to other males, I'm already very lucky. You have already given me a lot. Li Yue was puzzled. But I have been tormenting you all along. The empire has more Amalis and fewer females. Many males before completely losing control cannot even beg for a single comfort. You have already helped me 3 times. Yi Hua knows. Inside this body before me lies. It has long been a brand new soul. He does not know what exactly happened. Even worried about the original Li Yue will come back again. He often reminds himself, one should be content with joys of days gone by. But upon seeing the delicate child before my eyes, again, unable to suppress the desire to be careful, tentatively asking for more, just like right now. He took advantage of Li Yue's momentary distraction. Hold her hand to your lips, gently kissed twice. This is why I can't bear to let go. Yes, is that so? Li Yue has a slight stutter. Yi Hua chuckled softly. So you don't have to feel guilty for me. In the palm, tingling and numb, Li Yue's attention once again, led astray by Yi Hua. After a long while, she suddenly realized. Such a layout, such a stage. Tonight's dance party is certain. Not an ordinary ball. Yi Hua. I didn't know before I came. It will be like this here. Maybe we should just go home. Good. Subsequently, the two of them walked out together. Yi Hua had just opened the door of the private room. Fred suddenly appeared right in front of me. Yi Hua is not as hostile as before. Immediately open the main gate and let the people in. Because the instinct belonging to the Beastmen made him realize. At this moment, Fred's situation is extremely bad. The pair of fox ears sprouting from the top of the head. The ears have already drooped down. Even the foxtail behind him. It's also dragging on the ground with no strength. Even the original body cannot be controlled. Fred just now clearly suffered something. Fred, are you okay? Yi Hua, quickly help him into the restroom. Evil obstacle. How dare you run away? Li Yue just helped Fred up. Just heard a voice filled with fury. The voice came from outside the door. The sound of footsteps is getting closer. It sounds like there are quite a few people walking towards this side. Fred is also here at this time. Completely transformed into a white fox. Held in Li Yue's embrace, she could feel the weakness of the white fox in her arms. Reach out and gently stroke his back. These hands of hers possess healing abilities. Upon touching the soft fur behind the fox's back, Li Yue then felt a flow within his body. Power is flowing into the white fox in my arms. After stroking several times, the fox in my arms, finally, can open eyes now. Li Yue's heart still couldn't help but feel anxious. Yi Hua, what should we do now? Yi Hua opened his mouth, originally intended to speak. Suddenly, his expression changed. Take Li Yue away immediately, standing behind her to protect her. Sure enough, the next instant, the door of the private room was shattered by the impact. Quite a few people came in from outside. The leader is arrogant and domineering. The empire's princess, Ten Xiu. Upon seeing Li Yue behind Yi Hua, the disdain in his eyes grew even deeper. I thought it was someone else. So it's you, this piece of trash. How dare you touch that person I have my eyes on? Tan Xiu took a few steps forward. Originally wanted to get close to Li Yue, never expected to be suddenly blocked by Yi Hua. A male with a master. Once again, it's the chief commander with illustrious military achievements. Tan Xiu, thought looking displeased. But the tone was still considered polite. Commander, I'll help you get rid of this. How are useless females? By then, you can regain your freedom now. Tan Xiu naturally knows Li Yue. What did you once do to Yi Hua? Therefore, although a beast husband has the duty to protect his partner, but Tan Xiu believes that Yi Hua will seize this opportunity. Give him the chance to regain his freedom. I am here. No one can hurt her. Yi Hua's firmness and tone and a dangerous aura flowing in the eyes. It really took Tang Xiu by surprise. Commander, you're not going to interfere in matters between females, are you? Duty calls. How can there be any talk of interfering? Tan Xiu raised her eyebrows. You actually dare to oppose me? Her fists clenched tightly. Suddenly waved his hand toss-up towards Yi Hua's face. The country's rules made it impossible for Yi Hua resisting against females. He originally intended to take a step back to dodge it. Unexpectedly, figure suddenly appeared. From before his eyes flashed by. It was Li Yue who steps forward and knocked Tan Xiu aside. Tan Xiu naturally did not anticipate this turn of events. Unsteady in stature, Heffel to the side on the spot. Of course. Li Yue, holding a white fox in her arms, also. Because of inertia, I lost my balance, nearly fell down. The white fox in the embrace immediately jumped down. Come, prepare to be her cushion. Suddenly, Li Yue felt his body sway. The next moment, he appeared in Yihua's embrace. She raised her head, blinking her smiling eyes as she looked towards. Protecting her. Yihua? This actually left Yehua somewhat at a loss. What are you laughing at? He, I knew you would catch me. Seeing that Li Yue is fine. The white fox on the ground also stood up, crawling towards Li Yue once again. Once again, fell into her embrace, then greedily rubbed against it. You useless piece of trash actually dare to bump into me. Do you believe me or not? Li Yue turned around and stood in front of Yihua. She originally wanted to take a look. What does Tan Xin want to do? Never expected it to be from Tan Xiu. Panic was seen on his face. I am the princess of the empire. She is the female with the highest spiritual power in the empire. I won't argue with you. Li Yue was completely baffled. I don't understand why Tan Xiu suddenly changed. Li Yue, your excellency, please take this unfaithful fox away. The sin of virtue is handed over to me. Li Yue looked up. Is a good-looking face. A woman with inherent elegance. A pair of fox eyes. Long and narrow, yet charming. Li Yue's heart roughly had an idea about the visitor. I have a guess about their identity. At this time, Yihua was also by her side, whispering Araminder in the ear. This is the current clan leader of the nine-tailed fox family. Also, Fred's mother. Olivia. Lord Li Yue. This wretch does not abide by the virtues of a fox. Under the circumstance of our having a marriage engagement, how dare you still have the audacity to provoke and seduce? You, please hand him over to me. Seeing this appearance of Somion coming with ill intentions, Li Yue couldn't help but tighten her arms around her. The white fox held even tighter. What do you want to do? Olivia said without hesitation. Family law enforcement. No. Fred him. Did not seduce me. Li Yue, your excellency. The Nine-Tails clan has always placed great importance on the chastity of males. And this wretched beast is already betrothed. The scent of anatherphomale lingers on the body. According to the family rules, such a wanton fox ought to be beheaded. Hands and feet thrown to the garbage planet to fend for themselves. Upon hearing this, Li Yue held the fox in her arms even tighter. She remembers. Last time, when I was at home, she indeed has also touched Fred. It's me. I forced him. What is the dissatisfaction of the clan leader? You can come at me. To prevent the reputation of the Nine-Tails clan from being damaged. Please, Lord Li Yue, take this scourge away. Good. Yihua stood by watching Li Yue, a face full of protective demeanor. Nor did they say anything. As a beast husband, he really doesn't have much qualification. Intervene in Li Yue accepting others' gifts. As long as she is happy, it's fine. As a male, he, however, looked down upon Fred very much. The tactic of laying the victim. The clan leader has left. What puzzled ye? Who was? Her Royal Highnesses actually just casually dropped a harsh remark. Then he also left. This is simply not like this overbearing person. What the Lord can do. Although feeling strange in my heart. But Yihua also did not think too much about it. He stepped forward and put his arm around Li Yue's shoulder. Endure the disdain forfeit White Fox's methods, softly said. You go home first. There is a therapeutic device at home. This fox is actually S's class. Yihua forced himself to hold back the second half of the sentence. He won't die, swallow it into the stomach. Words on the tip of tongue transform into, he won't have anything happen to him. Elder brother, save me. Tan Xiu hurried lion flusteredly, running to the side of a pond. A voice sounded from the pond water. What is the matter? This voice is clear and far-reaching, as if drifting from beyond the nine heavens, without a trace of worldly, mundane air. Elder brother, my mental energy seems to have dropped again. Tan Xiu's words had just fallen. The originally calm pond water suddenly stirred up waves. With a faint yet the powerful sound of water, the water in the center of the pool began to churn. Amidst the shimmering waves, a little white dragon slowly revealed its form. His scales shimmered in the sunlight, soft and pure silvery white light, soaring into the sky. The figure is agile and elegant. It circled once in the air, then transformed into human form and landed in front of Tan Xiu. He is dressed in a white robe, features sharp and clear. The facial features are exquisitely carved as a sculpture. A sense of calm and detachment emanates from between the brows. The gaze is deep and serene. He reached out and pressed his palm against Tan Xiu's forehead. After a long while, only then slowly began to speak. Just drop to level, that's all. Go back and wait. The medicinal decoction will be delivered tonight. Just drop to B level. However, elder brother, you can help me transfer me spiritual energy. Increase to S level or above. At this moment, Tang Xiu's brows and eyes, all are humble and supplicating. Not a trace of the usual arrogancy and domineering attitude is seen. The man said without hesitation, a level is already the highest in the empire. Female spiritual power highest level. No need to increase further. Elder brother, that soup medicine that can increase spiritual power. Have you only given to me alone?